Hey, everybody. You can help us make Chris DeMakes a podcast even better by telling us a little bit about yourself. Go to surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 for a quick listener survey. It only takes a couple minutes and it helps support our team. To show our appreciation, we're giving away 2 $50 gift cards to lucky participants every single month. Head to, go ahead and grab a pen, surveymonkey.com/r/JDZ3HL7 now for your chance to win.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
If you think that I don't notice, you're not looking at me.
Hey everyone, today's guest is guitarist and vocalist Steve Soboslai from the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania rock band Punchline. Together we break down the writing, recording, and inspiration behind the fan favorite song, Heart Transplant, taken from their 2004 album, Action. I'm one of those people who heard Heart Transplant long before it was ever recorded, when Less Than Jake toured with Punchline. These were the days when bands would do just that, road test their material, work out the kinks, and get a vibe from their audience. So it wasn't a surprise when I listened to the demo for Heart Transplant, and it was almost identical to the album version. Producer Sean O'Keefe let the band be themselves. That song they had been playing live for the previous 2 years was going to get recorded as they had been playing it. This song has a complete disregard for a traditional arrangement, and that's the beauty of it, and probably the reason it's one of their most popular tunes. So for all this, and the phone call from a San Diego payphone that started it all, stick around.
Hey, hey, have you heard? Chris DeMakes a podcast. Hey, hey, have you heard? Chris DeMakes a podcast. Hey, hey, have you heard? Chris DeMakes a podcast. Hey, hey, have you heard? Chris DeMakes a podcast.
My old friend Steve is sitting in the hot seat. Do you have any idea when you were here last? Because I know.
It feels like a year ago.
It does feel like a year ago, but it was over 5 years ago. November 23rd, 2020, you were here to discuss Universe. And what took so long to get you back, man? You're a bass player in Punchline as the producer and co-host of this show. What took you so long?
Apparently, I have a different body clock because 5 years to everyone else is 1 year to me. But that's been happening a lot lately with this time frame.
Yeah, right. I feel you on that. Well, Heart Transplant, to take everybody back, is the 4th track out of 12 on Punchline's 2004 album Action, which was released February 24th, 2004 on Fueled by Ramen Records, which is crazy because, you know, Chris had sent me notes and I was like, okay, that makes sense because I know I was hearing this song earlier and you guys had been playing it for a couple years. And what an unorthodox arrangement this song has. It is almost progressive in feel in terms of a punk band. Let's talk a little bit about writing it because Chris also sent me the demo of this song, which the first thing I noticed, I was telling him earlier, Steve, was that the demo's 3 minutes and 58 seconds.
We made it longer.
Well, actually, no, you made it 4 seconds shorter. It's 3:54 on the record. So I said, I bet there's not much of a change. And there really wasn't. You know, it takes me back to those early Less Than Jake days and those our first record, which I consider demos, basically. They were just demo recordings. And, we were flying by the seat of our pants. There was no rules about writing songs. And we would go in and record with somebody, and they were never telling us, hey, we should double the chorus here or do any of that. So it sounds to me like you guys were playing this as is for a long time.
I think that's right. I mean, I have so much to say about this song. I remember more about this song than some of the other songs because unlike today, I feel like now when there's an idea as a songwriter that feels special to you, I like to keep those ideas feeling special, but now I realize, hey, just because it's special now, you might get in there and play it with a band, and you might realize that it's actually another idea you don't think is that special. That's the one that becomes magical when you all play it together. But this song was like special from the moment, the idea was just a baby until we put it out. We did a nice demo of it.
Even a heart transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? Staring up my path now. Wouldn't show you how I feel, would it now?
It's amazing to me that, a song that is arguably one of your biggest songs, a fan favorite
For sure.
of the band, is this intricate. There's a lot going on here. And I had talked to Crystal before we started rolling, and I'd like you to elaborate. You guys worked with Sean O'Keefe, and Sean was mostly best known, I guess, for recording Take This to Your Grave from Fall Out Boy. He also mixed B is for B-Sides, a Less Than Jake companion record to Anthem. But did you get hooked up with Sean through Fuel by Ramen? Was he your first choice? And doesn't sound like he made many changes. He just kind of captured what you guys were doing in that moment. Is that right?
He was absolutely our first and I believe only choice. We used to operate in a very natural way where we had these friends, Fall Out Boy, and we went to visit them in Chicago in the studio when we were on tour, and we heard what they were making with Sean, and we said, wow, that's the guy. And I believe that was around the time where we were going to be talking with Fuel by Ramen about like getting started on the process of making our first full length with them. So when they asked, who do you want to make the record with? Because ultimately they're the ones that will be paying for it. We said Sean O'Keefe, and I remember them being like, okay, well, let's go see if we can get Sean O'Keefe to do this record. And I think it took a bit of time before we got an answer back, but I remember that feeling of relief or excitement when we found out, hey, Sean's going to be the guy, and you're going to go to Chicago and spend a month recording this album with him in August of 2003.
Yes, good memory. Because I have that written down here.
Nice.
I actually knew when it was recorded. But yeah, you go in with some guys, you never know what you're gonna get. Did you have any idea going in with Sean, like he's gonna get under the hood here and start changing lyrics or changing songs, or did you have an idea through Fall Out Boy what you were getting?
We had not worked with a producer at all before that. We had worked with engineers who would give ideas, but it was the first time we were in that, teacher-student environment, which we absolutely needed that. I don't think it's always an arrangement like that with a producer.
Yeah.
But in this case, we were pretty green, and I appreciate that he was willing to, teach us what he knew and lead us down the path rather than, us trying to speak up about stuff we didn't really know what we were talking about. But it is interesting how, some producers are going to get in there and really be hands-on with changing chord progressions or cutting parts out. And like you're saying with this song, I mean, it was fully demoed beforehand, and there's not that much that changed, but boy, did he make bring out the sound of it. He's just an audio wizard.
Yeah, this recording, 3 years on now, it's got balls to it, man. It sounds really good. You guys became way more refined as a band. A lot of bands do. I hate to use the word mature, but you get better at your instruments and you grow. But he kind of captured what was happening here. This sounds like you guys from that time period. Like this is what I remember when I would hear you guys. He seemed to capture the stereo guitars in particular sound great on this recording.
I do remember there was a high watt amp connected to a Mesa Boogie amp. So we were chaining amps together to get that sound, which isn't something that we did with a lot of other albums that I remember. I mean, I remember blending amps. You record and you're going through two different amps.
Yeah.
Like on two different mics into two different tracks and using a blend. But on this, he was actually like chaining the amps together, which I thought was interesting. Like a high watt running into a Mesa in some way.
Yeah, and doing the combo thing, that was new to me until probably the early 2000s. That was something that Less Than Jake hadn't done. And when we finally could, it's like, oh, wow, you can blend amps. That's, and it opened up our eyes to different things that you could do. And I think this guitar tone, again, I'll stand by it. It still holds, man. The stereos sound great on this.
Yeah, Sean's a beast. And it's interesting now. I mean, there's so much more digital recording now. And granted, I mean, we were working in Pro Tools, but, now there's so much of recording. It's great how the power is more in the hands of the people and the bands to make their own songs. But I mean, I just love a thick analog sounding recording. So a lot of these recordings, from this time frame really do hold up.
Yeah, no, and this sounds it sounds awesome. It sounds to me like it was recorded digitally, but it wasn't to a grid. It sounded like he took some performances from PJ and you might have Frankenstein some stuff together, but it's not like every hit is perfect and it sounds mechanical.
Right.
It's this sounds like a natural band, and again, it sounds like you guys from that time period. Chris told me, and I want to get this from you, that the song was written about an ex-girlfriend. He said so long ago that it's laughable.
Absolutely, so long ago it's laughable. I don't even know where she is now in the world, if she's still a real person. I'm sure she's doing just fine, but definitely one of those songs that lyrically was incredibly meaningful at the time and cathartic to get out. Was very much written about a real story of something that was going on. I just remember being on our first tour, and we were in San Diego, and we had been gone for like a good month or more, and I had a phone call with this girl at the time, and she was like, yeah, I don't think I'm into this anymore. Like, I found out like she was like hanging out with some other guy. I think it was at Kennywood, the local amusement park.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Kennywood?
No, I have not, but I've heard about it.
Chris, you got to take him to Kennywood sometime.
Yeah.
I'll come too. But I was on a payphone in San Diego getting this news about breaking up with this girl that I loved, and it was like my first real girlfriend, first love, and I was just crushed on tour in San Diego with my boys. I went and I got real drunk and I got my lip pierced that day.
Yes, yes.
That's what you
kind of did it all.
That's what you do. We went to some show that night to see.
You stopped just short of the prison tattoo.
Right. Yeah. And I remember, so early on, like with songwriting, you'd pick up a guitar and you would write a song, but it wasn't until like many years later that I would start to form ideas in my head. Like all of a sudden, like an idea comes to you and you get this little nugget and you say, ooh, I bet when I pick up the guitar, I'm going to be able to turn this into something. And I used to hear the chorus, like, even a heart transplant, like just that hook. And it was almost like, it was like Journey playing it. That's like how I was hearing it in my head. And I kept hearing it like, what is this? What is this going to sound like when it gets pulled out of the ether? And I remember one day I was in my apartment and I finally picked up a guitar and I'm like, I'm going to write this song. I'm going to let this out. And I swear most of the words, and this is a very wordy song, came pouring out in like 20 minutes. One of those songs that's like, you know, a sit down and all this stuff comes out. And so much of it ended up sticking. Although when I brought it to the band, I don't think we've ever done such a, like, the process to come up with all the little intricacies and what the, you know, how the guitars and drums play off each other. I just remember that being an incredibly long band practice where we had another friend who was there to film our band practice for some school project. And I just remember, I think he thought it was going to be like an hour-long band practice. And then we spent like 6 or 7 hours to put together this 3 or 4 minute song. And that's where the magic really came together with, you know, adding like the double bass part at the end. And these little guitar licks. I mean, Paul was all over that thing, coming up with these little guitar licks.
Well, you had mentioned Journey. There's definitely an 80s thing going on here. And now that you say Journey, the like the little riffs in the chorus, it reminds me of like What Happens in Any Way You Want It by Journey. It's got that vibe. And I didn't put two and two together until you just said that. One more thing before we jump into the track, Steve. You mentioned Patrick Stump and Fall Out Boy, and he always sang this song with you guys back in the day, and this is really cool for everybody. Check this out. Last time Fall Out Boy played Pittsburgh at the PPG Arena, Patrick covered Heart Transplant on piano, so go look that up online.
Leaving a heart transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? Tearing up my past now, my head wouldn't show you how I feel, would it now?
It's very, very cool, and that had to be an honor for you guys.
It was very cool. I wish they had given us a heads up that they were going to be doing that. I mean, none of us were there when it happened, which was really funny. I remember Paul texted our band group thread and said, "None of us are there, right? LOL."
But yeah, that's cool though. It's cool to be to be thought of, because we all know that Fall Out Boy is a really big band. But Heart Transplant, 3 minutes and 54 seconds, 4 seconds shorter than the demo, Steve, which, again, the demo was almost identical, save for like the screamy parts at the end. There was a little bit more of that on the demo. I think that was toned down a little bit on the album studio version. But the intro is an arpeggiated guitar for 4 bars, and then a 4-count hi-hat into verse 1.
If you think that I don't notice, you're not looking me in the eye and you're blind, and I don't have the time to sit here and wonder just what's under your skin tonight. And I know that there's a problem, but I don't understand. If it's in my chest, not in your hand, I don't want to hear a word, but I do. Go to hell.
If you think that I don't notice, that you're not looking me in the eye, then you're blind and I don't have the time to sit here and wonder just what's under your skin tonight. And I know that there's a problem, but I don't understand. If what's in my chest is now in your hand, I don't want to hear a word, but I do.
A lot of words and a little bit of time.
I like that line. I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear about it, but I do. I have to know, but I don't want to know. And that's the worst, right?
It is.
So you said you wrote this in 20 minutes. Was this what came out on the paper? Did you make any changes? Do you remember? Or this is just kind of what came flying out of you?
Never changed. That was exactly how it came out. And I think we talk a lot about in this era how there were lyricists who it just sounded like they were trying to fit too many syllables in, but they leaned on the side of the lyrics. Like, I want to deliver the lyrics in the way that they can be read and interpreted, and rather than it being like maybe the ultimate catchy melody. And I think we had some of this going on here where I don't care if it's wordy. I want you to hear the words I'm saying.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like this was overly wordy. And for that time period, I know what you mean. I mean, just the song titles alone, Less Than Jake was guilty of that. They'd be a novel in and of themselves. But something else that's interesting, you start singing this song, and when we get into the next part, the pre-chorus, Paul sings it. And this is a really personal song, okay? You wrote it from your heartbreak, and I think about those things sometimes where it's like, I'm going to sing this one. This is personal to me. Was there ever that discussion of, I need to sing this whole thing, or were you so young you weren't even thinking about it? It's what came out at band practice.
So there were these two bands we listened to, Blink-182 and Less Than Jake, who both had two singers that switched off at pretty random times. And so that was totally normal to us.
It was totally normal to you. I get it. That's kind of the thought process I had back in the day.
And before I got into music or really under the hood to understand it, I don't even think I knew it was two people switching back and forth. Like, it wasn't that clear to me. It never sounded jarring. And I mean, even harmonies, until somebody taught me what they were, I couldn't really tell that it was different people singing different things. I mean, there's so much that you forget about having been a common listener, a lay person listener. It's funny.
I wish I could go. I sometimes rewind the clock and be that naive guy listening, going, it sounds different than the first time. Why? Well, because there's a harmony there. Oh, and those are things you pick up and obviously learn along the way that you can't unlearn, it seems. I've tried. The first half of verse 1 here, the drums, bass are playing along with the stereo guitars, which are ringing out for the first half of verse 1. Just what's under your skin tonight, the stereo guitars do this little single note thing left and right, and then a pick slide takes us into the second half of verse 1. On this second half, the drums, bass, and stereo guitars go to these big rhythmic chugging chords, very reminiscent of that time. The dun, 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 those chugging guitars. Just again, they sound great here, and some well-placed squeals from the guitar, also known as pinch harmonics. Talk to me about that. Like, you can overdo pinch harmonics. I think Zakk Wylde takes it a little too far sometimes, but who thought of that in this song?
That was all Paul the pincher. He, at this point in time, I think that Punchline was just as much of a guitar band as we were a vocal band. I think about how many songs, not this one in particular, but how many songs we have from this time in E major, because it's a complementary way to play guitar. You have the advantage of playing things on open strings, and even though for both of us that's very much shouty territory, it's got to be here because it's more complementary to the guitars.
Interesting. Okay. Well, coming right out of verse 1, we get into, I'm calling it pre-chorus 1. Paul sings the lead here.
Go to hell, who needs you? I say that 'cause I don't believe you. Take my words the way I'm taking yours. If I pay, you know me, but you don't even hear me. Listen once and listen close to me.
Go to hell, who needs you? I say that because I don't believe you. Take my words the way I'm taking yours. It's not fair, you know me, but you don't even hear me. Listen once and listen close to me.
It's a lot of lashing out, in the moment you're fighting with somebody. And I think about how in moments like that, you never know what to say. It never comes out right. You're going off of this instinctive, just get the words out. And much like you get older and you try to be more in control of your words, when you're younger, you're just flailing.
Yeah, it's, I feel like my mouth has got me in more trouble than anything.
You're like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I'm going to continue talking and continue putting both feet in my mouth at the same time. Yeah, and it's going to solve absolutely nothing. Well, pre-chorus 1, we get our first harmonies in the song. On Take My Words the Way I'm Taking Yours, and on Listen Once and Listen Close to Me. During this section, the drums, bass, stereo guitars are all rocking away. After the line, Take My Words the Way I'm Taking Yours, the stereo guitars go to an octave guitar run until the next line. They kind of break off there. And on the last line, the guitars do this little 3-noter, and then we get a filtered vocal panned off left that is like a response to the Listen Once and Listen Close to Me. We get another Listen Close to Me filtered vocal.
I think that's Chris.
I believe, I was going to say, I think that's Chris there, and I can hear him on other stuff in this song, which is cool that I could pick that out, because to your point earlier, you're like, a lot of times you're listening, it's like, whoa. Even when Paul came in here, I was like, that's not Steve anymore, but I had to really think about it.
We would switch on and off like that, like it was nobody's business. I don't know how we decided on that. I don't think we ever had a conversation like, let's be a band where we switch off vocals all the time. It was just that we had a couple guys like, hey, I'll sing. Hey, I'll sing too. Okay, you sing this part. I believe that we would just go around and who's got the next part? And then we would each audition little ideas. I'll decide on one, and then that was the next part.
We didn't know it in the early days, but thank God I had another singer because, it cuts my workload because you get out there, you know how we used to tour. God, I lose my voice, and I had two other guys, Roger and JR, and even Buddy that could back me up with that. But coming out of this pre-chorus, we get into chorus 1, and I'm calling this a chorus. This song's interesting because the next chorus is different words, but I'm going to call that a chorus too. This is, again, a very strange but cool arrangement. Here's chorus 1.
Even a heart transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? Tearing up my past now. Yeah, it wouldn't show you how I feel, would it now? And those inside jokes and things.
Even a heart transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? It's tearing up my past now. Yeah, it wouldn't show you how I feel, would it now?
Now there's a chorus that is just leaning on the melody because those lyrics read more like how somebody would speak than poetry.
Okay.
I love that this is one of our biggest songs, and that melody is something that people latched onto, even though it doesn't read like a sentence. And I think that's cool. I think it's the rhythm of how it's being said that draws people in. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. And there's harmonies on Even a Heart Transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? It's tearing up my past now. And on this big yeah, it's predominantly off left. It's held out. And that yeah kind of morphs into a whoa-oh. Again, that's panned left. And on that last line, the band continues rocking after for 4 bars before we settle into verse 2. Different chords and a feel here for verse 2. I mean, this is where the verse just goes all over the place. I'm talking about like those progressive drumming elements where PJ really stepped it up on the drumming here. There's a lot going on.
Sean was a drummer, so drums were a very big focus for him. And boy, do I love how drums hit on Sean O'Keefe records as far as how he mixes with the guitars panned kind of over top of the drums, but a really smacky snare. I really love that.
Yeah, no, it did. This part sounds awesome. This whole section. And as I was listening to him, like, is this a verse? What is this? So I'm calling it a verse. Would you call this verse 2, Steve?
This is verse 2, yes.
And those inside jokes and things we know are the furthest thing from my mind. You let one slip and I forget and smile. But I shouldn't, cause I hate you, and I hope this irritates you as much as it does to me. Even thinking that I don't want you, I'm not looking at you like I used to. When you kiss me, when you want me, what did I do? What did I say? What did I do?
And those inside jokes and things we know are the furthest things from my mind. But you let one slip, and I forget and smile, but I shouldn't because I hate you. And I hope this irritates you as much as it does to me for even thinking that I don't want you. I'm not looking at you like I used to when you'd kiss me and when you'd want me. What did I do? What did I say?
The inside jokes part, I remember from breakups of the past, not necessarily, or fights, when somebody, you're fighting and you feel like you see the end and maybe the girl is like, oh, it's okay, baby. And you're like, don't call me baby right now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't talk to me like that. You're gonna throw this all out. Well, you don't get to call me by my pet name anymore. Those inside jokes and things we know are the furthest thing from my mind, but you let one slip and I forget and smile. But I just want to see if this next part makes sense. But I shouldn't because I hate you. And I hope this irritates you as much as it does to me. As much as it irritates me, to even think that I don't want you. I'm not looking at you like I used to when you kiss me. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And, this was, you guys were so young when you wrote this. And I really read into, and sometimes I do this when I read lyrics, and those inside jokes and things we know are the furthest things from my mind. But you let one slip. I'm like, is he talking about, like, did she fart in the car one time? That's an inside joke?
No, letting an inside joke slip.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I'm kind of half joking, but you never know. You could have been like, oh yeah, that was our one of our inside jokes. She was very, very flatulent. We get harmonies on "Forget" and "Smile." Another harmony on "But I Shouldn't Because I Hate You," and "I Hope This Irritates You." And then we get a very loud "For Even Thinking," like a call and response line panned off right. Is that Chris again?
That's three of us switching off vocals there. We still do this live where we switch off, like I sing the first line and then Paul and then Chris. I hope that it translates live, like you can hear everybody and hear that it's the three lines, but yep, we split it up. That'd be like you, Roger, and Buddy. You got to get Buddy in there on the third response.
Yeah, and then the third one is that "I Don't Want You." That's panned off left. That's like a double unison vocal there. During this part, the drums, bass, and stereo guitars are playing an ascending, driving riff. "When You'd Want Me," we get a harmony. "When You'd Kiss Me," and then the line previous to that, "I'm Not Looking at You Like I Used to." The guitars really open up, and I want to back up to the start of the verse. I skipped this part. The intro guitar panned off right. So the intro guitar from the very top of the song comes back here in verse 2. Makes an appearance here with the bass and the drums. The drums are on the ride cymbal. The guitars are ringing out. And then off to the left, we get like this harmonic and a row that builds into the next line. "But you let one slip and I forget and smile." The drums, bass, and stereo guitars build up there. On the next line, the drums, bass, and stereo guitars, they're chugging on this line. "But I shouldn't because I hate you," and the next line, "And I hope this irritates you." So going through this whole verse, you're bringing parts in and out. The drums are slowing down. I'm assuming, Sean, no one ever said, "Hey, there's a lot going on here. If we're in a verse, should we just keep this a little more four on the floor here, guys?"
It amazes me that he didn't try to trim the fat a little bit, because to me, when I put on my producer hat, I say, how is the listener going to know what to pay attention to? Because I think about that a lot now when you're playing a song live, that don't, when this guy's doing this over here and that guy's doing that over there, and then it goes to this person in the back, I just want the focal point to be clear. Like, where am I supposed to be listening? Am I listening to the singer or to the guitar player? But, we had all these little guitar lick dance moves worked out, and Sean was like, let's play ball. Let's get every little nugget in there. And I appreciate him for that. I see why maybe this song didn't cross over to a larger audience.
Yeah, I don't know about the larger audience. I mean, this is, again, your fans have spoken. They love this track, So I don't know. I don't know to that, but yeah, I think about that sometimes. Is what the band and the guitars and the drums doing, is that overtaking the vocal? And I've said this many times. That's why rap music works so well. It's a kick, a snare, and a vocal. You're listening to the story. That's the focal point. There's no, hey, rhythmic weird stuff typically going on that's gonna take your ear away from that vocal. On the line, "What Did I Do?" That re-intro, arpeggiated guitar panned off right, comes back in as the band is ringing out. And then on the next line, "What Did I Say?" And after that, we get the whole band does this dunt, stereo guitars, bass, the drums, and then we're into chorus 2. And chorus 2. You guys go halftime here. Drums, bass, and stereo guitars, but it's different lyrics and it's a different chord progression. Do you consider this chorus 2?
I consider this chorus B.
Chorus B. Okay, that's...
But also it's chorus... Like, there's two different choruses. This is the second time the chorus comes around, but it's a different chorus.
Thank you for saying B. Yeah, this is the B chorus. Yeah, I was trying to think how to. I don't think I've ever had this in a song that I broke down in the show where there was like two distinct choruses.
What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? Time goes by and wonders.
What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? And this whole thing is supported by the last two lines in verse 2, because you say, what did I do? What did I say? You get that there. And the band goes halftime here. Like I said, different lyrics and chord progression. We get harmonies on everything. And at this point in the song, this part is arguably the catchiest part of the song. I think this part is awesome.
1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression.
Yeah, and it's just so catchy. On the last line, we get a filtered, "My dreams won't let you." Those are panned both left and right, but pretty self-explanatory. What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? What are you talking about forgetting there in that context?
To me, this is a naive young man saying, "What's the one thing I did that made you change your mind?" And now you get older and you're like, it's not one thing. It's a lot of things that you did. You know, it's not like if you just didn't say that one thing, I would be out the door. I was already out the door, but yes, that one thing was not the greatest thing to say.
Yeah. You think it's one thing. It's not.
It's not. It wasn't one thing. Maybe it was that I was on tour for, gone for 6 weeks and barely able to be around somebody to have a relationship. And that's why it didn't work out. I didn't really consider that could be a part of it. Like, oh, maybe you broke up with me because I'm in California and haven't been home for 6 weeks.
Get me out of my head. Get me out.
Hey everybody, don't go anywhere. We got lots more coming up with my friend and bandmate Steve Soboslai after a few words from our sponsors.
Looking to elevate your music career? DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that enables musicians to distribute their music to online stores and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, and many more. DistroKid collects earnings and payments, sending them to you, the artist. With DistroKid, artists unlock a world of possibilities. From easily paying collaborators with splits to securing your music with DistroLock, DistroKid covers all bases. Plus, you can promote your releases with Hyperfollow and create eye-catching visuals with a Spotify Canvas generator, all for free. But that's not all. Introducing the DistroKid app, now available on iOS and Android. Artists can manage their releases, view streaming stats, and withdraw earnings, all from the palm of their hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. With its simple interface and customizable mastering options, artists can make their music sound polished and professional within minutes. And don't forget about Instant Share, DistroKid's newest feature. Share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more, ensuring your music streams at the highest quality. Ready to take your music to the next level? Download the DistroKid app and explore their suite of tools today. Plus, listeners can enjoy 30% off their first year by visiting distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. That's distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. Hey everybody, Chris DeMakes here. Whether I'm out on the road with Less Than Jake or at home with my family, I don't have time to be constantly thinking about what I'm going to wear. I want to be comfortable, but I also want to look put together and stylish. That's why I'm thankful for Quince. Their fabrics feel elevated, the fits are clean, and everything works without needing to overthink it. Quince has all the wardrobe staples for spring. Clean, 100% Pima cotton tees that look as good as they feel. Same deal with the pants. They're relaxed and comfortable, but still polished enough to wear anywhere. Best part is, they're priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands, because Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're getting premium materials without the markup. I recently got a pair of jeans from Quince, and they're the most comfortable pair of pants I've ever worn. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/DeMakes for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/DeMakes for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DeMakes.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come experience the beauty that awaits in Scotland. The sweep of wild coastlines, quiet lochs, and untamed landscapes. Fresh cuisine that feels rooted in the land. Come experience the kind of stillness that stays with you long after you leave. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Hey friends, Chris DeMakes here. If you love Chris DeMakes a podcast and you'd like to help us continue bringing you great episodes each week, please take a minute to check out chrisdemakes.com. That's where you'll find our Patreon. Our Patreon supporters get instant access to hundreds of episodes of The After Party, our weekly bonus episode that people have raved to us about for years. You can also get ad-free, early releases of each week's episode of Chris DeMakes a podcast, as well as unedited video versions of the show. Even if you're not sure if you want to sign up, you can go to chrisdemakes.com and sign up for a free account. We'll throw you a free preview episode here and there. We can't thank you enough for all the support. And if you have a few extra bucks and you want to help us keep the lights on, our Patreon is the way to do it. Head to chrisdemakes.com to learn more.
And now, back to the show.
Well, coming out of the B chorus 2, Steve, I'm still kind of wrestling with this. I think it's the third verse, or it could be the bridge. I'm calling it verse 3. What do you call the next part coming up?
This is Time Goes By and Wonders Why?
You got it.
Yes, I would call that verse 3. Verse 3.
Time goes by and wonders why and where and how and what you've learned and who is this you're sitting with tonight. I'm over you, way over you now. My heart lies in between my pants. If I pretend for a minute, I have into it. I swear that I can still feel you're something, but it's probably nothing. What did I do?
Time goes by and wonders why, and where and how, and what you've learned. And who is this you're sitting with tonight? I'm over you, way overdue now. My heart lies in between my past. But if I pretend for a minute and put all that I have into it, I swear that I can still feel you're something, but it's probably nothing.
I think this is a testament to how you can take words and put music to them, and until you put the music to them, you don't really understand what the words mean. But the feeling that the chords create helps you sell the meaning of the words that you're saying. And I think this part speaks to that. Isn't it amazing how sometimes, does this ever happen to you, Chris, where when you're playing a show live and you know it's a wordy song and you're like, do I know the words to this? And then you start and the words just start coming out.
Oh,
It's just, it's really incredible. Muscle memory and the way that you can just store these things in your head and they just pour out of you. I mean, I always have that. I'm like, do I know the words to this? And it's almost like one side of my brain is observing the other side, and this side is like watching this side say the words, and this side's like, oh my God, I can't believe he knows it. Does he know this one? Yep. And then it comes out.
I can totally relate to that. And I've always said when I start thinking about it, that's when I'm in trouble. If you ever look down at the neck of your guitar, like where the next part is, and you have no idea, you're like, and you're just completely lost because your hands do, and your brain typically does all the work, but sometimes it'll get us. Verse 3, man, there's a lot of stuff going on here. After the line, who is this you're sitting with tonight? We get a filtered vocal left and right. Is it saying my dreams won't let you? Is that what it says?
My dreams won't let you go.
Won't let you go. Okay. On the next line, I'm over you, way overdue now. We get a harmony with that same, my dreams won't let you go, panned left and right. And then we get some guitar harmonics. On the next line, my heart lies in between. We get a harmony on my past. On the following line, but if I pretend for a minute and put all that I have into it, there's some ahs that happen off right. Okay. All the ahs and filtered vocals seem really present and loud in this recording. Did you ever talk about that? A lot of times when you're doing filtered stuff, just by nature, it really sticks out.
I think that Sean looked at us and said, this is a band that part of their charm is all these little vocal nuances. And that was him trying to showcase this, that even though there's so much going on, that's one of our strengths, is that there's all these little call and response and harmonies.
Okay.
I think if you just let us keep recording, eventually everything would be a 3-part harmony with like stacked pad vocals, oohs and ahs behind it.
Well, that's something else that I'm glad you brought that up. It reminded me, because where did you pick your spots here for harmonies? They're kind of sporadic, they're in all the choruses so far. We got harmonies and everything, but did you kind of feel that out, or again, flying by the seat of your pants? You were young songwriters.
We were young songwriters, and we just loved the way that harmonies worked and sounded, and so we were just, oh, this sounds cool. Oh, that does sound cool. Put it down.
That's the way you do it. Well, on the last line, you're something. The band stops. The drums go to like the side stick, snare, and kick with clean guitar ringouts into one bar of the stereo guitar octave riff by itself before the band drops into chorus 3.
What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? Even our heart
Halftime again for the feel here for the first half of chorus 3. We get the same lyrics as the previous one. What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? What did I do? What did I say to make you forget? But this time, halfway through, the drums go to double time. I love that, man. It picks up there, and it's so heavy. And I kept saying to myself, I'm like, why does this chorus sound different? And I had to go back. I'm like, okay, because they stayed halftime the whole time. So cool. And on the last line, what did I say to make you forget? We get a panned off to the left. I think it's saying, what did I do? It's like a screamo part, I'm calling it.
This was the time of the screamo. I think had this song been recorded 2 years earlier or later, we would probably not have that. Boy, you try to act like you're not getting caught up in the trends, and then 20 years go by and you listen back, and
yeah.
we were right there. We were right there with it.
Hey man, I had a blonde mohawk. Baggy shorts.
Yeah.
I was right there. I tried my best not to follow trends, but hey, they found me. They found me.
Real quick, Chris, I always think about this moment with you, and we were in Houston. What's the name of the venue? Was like the stage, was it almost like kind of circular? strange venue in Houston that we played with you guys, probably in 2003. Fall Out Boy were probably there, and me and you were outside, and I must have been complaining about singing or like my voice being tight, and you gave me my first vocal warm-up exercise ever. You told me to sing some Z's.
Yeah. I learned that from Chuck Reagan from Hot Water. So Chuck went to, he was having bad voice problems, went to a vocal coach and had told him that. And I still do that. That's a good one. You just zzz, it'll warm up your throat. And I do remember that, Steve. I do. Coming out of this Screamo, What Did I Do part, we get into what I'm calling, Steve, the rest of the song is a post-chorus. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're just kind of kitchen sinking here. It's 1 minute left in the song. So at this point, we're at 2:54. We got a minute left. I'm going to comb through this as best as I can. We get it. Even a heart transplant wouldn't show you how I feel, would it, baby? It's tearing up my past now. Yeah, it wouldn't show you how I feel, would it now? The whole band brings things down here. So you're coming out of chorus 3, but you're bringing it back down. It's interesting, and you're getting that lyric back. Lots of pinch harmonics during this part. And on Wouldn't Show You How I Feel, Would It Now, we get a screamo part on those words again, and the now is really held out. After that, there's 4 bars of just the band rocking out before repeating heart transplant, that even a heart transplant lyric, that set of lyrics. But this time, it's over the chord progression for What Did I Do for that chorus. So you change now and you're singing that. That is awesome.
And the rhythm is also not as anticipated. So It's a little more straightforward, causing a lovely release.
It's awesome, man. It was as soon as it came to that, because I picked up the guitar and played along with them. I'm like, oh, they changed it there. And it's such a easy trick, but it's so good and it feels so good. And it makes the listener wonder, why does this feel different? And it confused me a little bit because of the different lyrics. I'm going, wait, where are we at here? I love what that did. The next set of music, the next chorus, I should say, the main vocal. This is really interesting. It's now all the way panned left, and we get what I'm calling a scatting vocal in the middle. And this vocal kind of sounds like someone's ad-libbing. I can't make it all out, but it's something like, who needs you? I said I don't believe you. I love you, etc. Some whoa-ohs in this part. Who was that singing that? Was that Paul?
I think that's Paul. Go to hell. Who needs you? Say that because I don't believe you. It's kind of like, it's a variation of that vocal from earlier. And yes, it gets into some other words. I remember an outtake where he said, go to hell, I hate you, you're stupid and you smell bad.
Well, that's funny because when I first listened to this, I'm combing back through the lyrics. I'm like, is it anywhere in the verses? Is he like singing another part, bringing it back? No. These are new lyrics, and there's already a lot of lyrics here. Was that a discussion?
That was probably, let's have a counter melody. Counter melodies are cool.
Okay. Well, after this, we get these big, like, yeah, and it morphs into like oh vocals that are really loud off to the right. And then we get the double bass. And this part is, I didn't remember this from the song when I was listening to it. I'm like, oh my God, they have the double bass chugs here. It's so cool. And the whole band is rocking away with that, with the vocals coming in and out. Full kitchen sink moment. Those ohs panned off to the right come back in. And then we get a stereo guitar harmony panned left and right. That then takes us, Steve, into a vocal coda tag to end the song. As if you guys needed another part in this song. We get gang vocals with distant drums singing the chorus one time, a cappella with sporadic guitars happening. And these guitars, it almost sounds like a heart monitor here at the end. I'm assuming that was intentional.
I think we wanted to run it back one more time. Love that arpeggio that's being played underneath there with those pickup notes. And it's funny, when we play this song live, we don't always play this part. And I feel like we played this song 1,000 times before I wondered or noticed, like, why don't we play the end, like the very end of the song? Why do we pretend? It's so funny how you get on stage and like you just change things. You don't even think about it. And then you compare them. You're like, why do we play this? Why do we play it different?
Yeah, I've went back to relearn songs. I'm like, wait a second, we're not even playing this. I'm not singing it anywhere near. Things just end up morphing. I've had fans come up like, you sing the second verse of whatever song different. I'm like, really? But they listen to me more than I do, so they're probably right.
I should note that this song had the liberty of being played out in the world. We played this song. We wrote it. We recorded it. We went out and played it a ton. And then we recorded it with Sean, which is special. That doesn't really happen as much now.
And I got that vibe from when I heard the demo. I'm like, they were playing this song because I knew you were playing it. I heard it before the record came out. So I was like, yeah, they went in and this is what they had. That's what you did. You played the song, you rehearsed it, most likely played it live, and then when you record it, you weren't thinking about, oh, we should double this now. No, we're going to play it how we were playing it live.
And that was exciting that we knew that people liked it and were latching onto it, which gave us a little, extra fuel in the tank when we were recording it. Rather than it being like you're recording every other song, you're like, are people gonna like this? I don't know.
Well, we also get those screamy vocals panned off left. And on the last line, wouldn't show you how I feel, would it? And this big, pretty harmony on Baby. And the song comes to a screeching halt. Why is this one of your most popular songs?
I think there's something about the heart transplant line that sticks with people, the rhythm of it, the way that I think it's in my range. I don't know. I really think that's mostly that one nugget that pulls people in. And I think a lot of people like it for it being a breakup song. I
love the song, but I think you guys have other songs that are way more immediate to a first-time listener.
Absolutely. I love the quality in songs. Does a 2-year-old dance to it? Uh-huh. And I've put this on for my toddler, and he says he looks confused and asks me to go to the next song.
Too many progressive drum breaks in the song. He can't find a rhythm. Well, Steve, thanks for coming back. I don't want it to be 5.5 years before you come back again. We have to get you back here before then. But what's going on with you and Punchline? Plug it before we sign off here.
Well, thank you. It's been a really interesting and very cool couple of years with Punchline. You would think, being 25 plus years into our band that maybe we're just, out there kind of doing the same thing. But a couple years ago, we started our own podcast, and I feel like going back and telling the stories from back in the day, because each episode tells the story behind an album, and we have about 10 albums, so there's about 10 episodes. And going back and talking about the past in chronological order with the people who were there really helped tell the full story, and I think give us a lot of perspective that we needed. And it really just supercharged our band and got our fans excited about us again. It got us making new music. Paul, our old guitar player, who's kind of been in and out of the band a couple times, he's back again. I feel like this one is going to stick forever. We made him sign a lifetime contract. And you know how it is. Like, it's not always the same in your band. It ebbs and it flows. And just, we have a lot of exciting things coming up this year. And I just appreciate anybody who still puts on Punchline or anybody who gives our new music a chance. I understand you might be so locked into Heart Transplant, you don't care what kind of music Punchline's making in 2026. But thank you so much to everybody who listens. And a lot of your fans and listeners of your podcast have been very kind to our band, and just really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, hey, have a great rest of your day, and thanks for sitting in.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the Z trick. It's
never the time, but I know your heart and your mind can't lie. I will wait as long as it takes for you. Wherever you are, wherever you are, I will wait as long as it takes for you.
I know I'm a little bit biased here, but if you enjoyed that conversation, make sure you check out the new Punchline album. It's called Somewhere to Land. It's all the places you get music, of course. If you want to get a record of it, you can go to punchlinemusic.com, which is also where all the upcoming Punchline shows are. And don't forget to subscribe to A Band Called Punchline. It's yet another podcast that you should subscribe to. All right, that's all the plugs I got to do that Steve didn't do in the episode. But don't go anywhere. We got the band you might not know and the rap segment coming right up after a few words from our sponsors.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. And new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working it.
Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG.
You thought this was your Run Club era. Turns out, it was more of a thinking about Run Club era. The good news? Someone's marathon training is about to start. Sell your workout gear on Depop. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. They get their race day fit, and you get a payout for trying. Someone on Depop wants what you've got. Start selling now. Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
This NBA playoffs with FanDuel, you're not just watching the playoffs, you're a part of them.
And we're back. Steve's got the phone, opens FanDuel, locks in player points, quick fingers, you love to see it. Now he's going for threes. Big night for Steve-O.
Be a part of the action and get better payouts this NBA playoffs on FanDuel. 21 plus and present in select states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Summer is calling, and your favorite artists are at Wolf Trap. Tickets on sale at wolftrap.org.
Hey friends, have you been loving Krista Makes a Podcast? Well, spread the love by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't hesitate to share what you enjoy about the show in an actual written review on Apple Podcasts. Not only does it help more people discover us, but we often read reviews in the wrap segment of the show. It's a quick, cost-free way to support us and takes just a minute of your time. Your reviews mean the world to us and help us keep the podcast thriving. Thank you for being a listener, and thank you for being a friend.
As we near the end of the show, here's a band you might not know.
Welcome to this week's Band You Might Not Know. If you'd like your band to be considered for Krista Makes a Podcast, email your best song via MP3 only and a short bio to bandyoumighttnotknow@gmail.com. This week's featured artist is Ada, a femme-fronted pop-punk band from Baltimore, Maryland, who bring high-energy, high-impact music that's guaranteed to leave you begging for more. This is really catchy stuff. Here's a snippet of their song, No Hard Feelings.
It's time to shut you down. You said, sit back and watch me burn. Couldn't help your life, the play you twist and turn. So hear me screaming, no hard feelings, petty double meanings. Mark my words, I'm gonna make it.
The Wrap with Chris and Chris.
Yeah, Chris, I remember that time in San Diego very vividly. It was the first time that we as a band were ever in Southern California, and it was like a whole new world to us. And I remember Steve breaking up with this girl. Something I also vividly remember about this, I think I talk about it on the Punchline podcast, is we were staying with our friend's brother, and our friend's brother was friends with a whole bunch of people that had completely tattooed faces and like split tongues and stuff. Like it was like we were on another planet. They were nice people, but you know, the people with just like completely tattooed faces. It was wild.
Yeah, I mean, that was 23 years ago. That was still pretty edgy to have. You see tattooed faces all the time now, but back then you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. These are people with like, not just like sporadic tattoo faces. Like I'm talking like completely covered. And I think that's what may have inspired Steve to pierce his lip at this moment too. He went and let these guys like pierce his lip. But yeah, dude, this song, it's been such a long journey with this song that we've probably been playing for a quarter of a century at this point, which is crazy to say. And I feel like we went through, yes, we embraced this song and people liked it back around that era. Then we went through like years of like, God, do we have to keep playing this song and like kind of hating it? And I feel like we've come back again and like, okay, if people like this song, we'll play it. That's fine.
Oh man, that's how I feel about Johnny Quest Thinks We're Sellouts. It's just one of those songs that if you don't play it, man, the backlash, but you do have those fans who are like, do you have to play that every show? It's like, trust me, dude, I'm sick of it too.
Yeah. It's also funny. One of the things I think is super funny about this song, and I know you say you've never done it in a Less Than Jake song, but we sing, would it show you how I feel? Would it, baby? We say baby in this song, which is so funny. But when I try in my mind to figure out what it is about this song that our fans like, I do think there's like an element of Motown to it or something, like that rhythm and that melody. There's something like a throwback to a 60s song and singing baby. And dude, it even comes around on this is the song that Patrick would sing with us back in the day because he has the whole Motown-y thing going on. That's the only thing I can figure out about what it is with this song that resonates with people.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys didn't find a producer that wanted to meddle with this song, because I don't know if it would have had the same impact with your fans. We'll never know. But right. I always ask that question sometimes, especially with a really unorthodox, odd song. I'll ask the guests, I'll say, why is this a fan favorite? And I always ask that, not really for an answer, because there really is no one definitive answer, but I for myself, Chris, is I've stopped trying to figure it out. There is no, I don't think we can, right?
Chris, there's a world though where, and look, I wouldn't change a thing about it. The people that like our band like this song, but it's not like it's a hit song or something. Maybe it's a hit amongst Punchline fans, but maybe there's a world where you streamline this song and you keep that hook intact, and it's a much more popular song. Steve talked about it in the episode that he plays it for his 3-year-old who does like our music and like dances to a lot of the songs, and he just can't grasp it. Sometimes you need that sort of instinctual, anybody could like it, even a 3-year-old thing, to make a song more accessible to a bigger audience of people. I don't know. This is probably an unanswerable question.
I think something else, I didn't mention to Steve, but I can, I think I did say I can feel the youthfulness, or, I could feel like the kind of naivety of a young band here, but I also feel the energy and excitement. This had to be an exciting time for you guys, right?
Oh my God. It was the most exciting. We were signing to a record label, and Chris, I may have said this too many times on this podcast, but think about this from our perspective. You guys were one of our 3 biggest influences, if not number 1. The only reason I wouldn't say number 1 is because we weren't like really a ska band, but as far as the songwriting of the band, you guys were one of the biggest influences on our band. And then your drummer signed our band, and then your band took us on tour at our first ever big tour. This was all happening at this moment. And then we know we're going and working with a producer. We're living in Chicago and recording this album. I mean, we felt at this moment, when you're hearing this recording or this album, I don't regret anything with our band, but at this moment, we felt like anything could happen. So what you're hearing is 4 kids, 4 young people, thinking that there's a chance that we are going to be the biggest band in the world, Sure. And that comes through in the music. Like, we felt like anything was possible. Maybe biggest band in the world is a stretch, but we felt like, hey, we're going to be headlining huge shows. We felt like we had the wind at our backs, and I don't know. Yeah, it was a very exciting time, and I think that does come through in the recording.
Yeah, I've always said, man, and I feel your band, you guys had a shot. Less Than Jake definitely had a shot in the major label world twice. Not many bands get that, but it was really cool to take a trip down memory lane, because I remembered this before you tracked it. In fact, before we were recording, I had to check your notes. I'm like, I swore this came out in 03.
Yeah, we'd been playing it for a long time. It was road tested. People already liked it before the album came out. And the one last thing I'll say about it, Chris, is we all agree about this, is like, why, when we had the resources at the time, why didn't we make a music video for this song and like push this song and like try to get to the next level on the back of this song? Because we already had the proof. People liked it. They wanted us to play it. We were closing our set with it. And I think the only reason for that was that we had been playing it for years, and to us it was old news.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I know. Less Than Jake fell into that trap too. We were like, at some point Capitol wanted to go to radio with Johnny Quest. We're talking about it again, see? And we're like, no, that's an old song. It was on Pezcore. We've been playing it forever. But what did we know? We thought we knew everything. But
that's for sure.
If you want to help us keep the lights on here, we say it every week, head over to our Patreon at ChrisDeMakes.com, and you can, help us keep the show and love rolling each week for the price of, I don't know, Chris, a cheap beer in Pittsburgh on a Tuesday night.
An icy light for the price of an icy light.
Yeah, sold out of a cooler outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium by some sketchy guy.
Yep. It used to be Heinz Field. It is now Acrisure Stadium. Doesn't that just roll off the tongue, Chris? Acrisure.
Acrisure Stadium in Allegheny County. Cool.
We had Heinz Field, like iconic ketchup-based stadium, and they changed the name to that. But yes, for the price of an icy light outside of Acrisure Stadium, you could help us continue making this podcast.
That's right. That's at ChrisDeMakes.com. And Chris, do you have a review for us this week? We like to read reviews every week.
We do. And if you haven't left us a review yet, go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave us those 5 stars. It helps other people find out about the show. It's another way to help us. And yes, I do have a 5-star review for us this week, Chris. This one is from Peter O. And I say it that way because it's the letter O with an exclamation point. So what Peter O had to say about the podcast.
Please tell me he's going to talk about the EMF episode.
No, that's a different kind of. That's O. No, Peter O said amazing podcast, and he wrote, "It's amazing to hear Chris interview these artists. He asks amazing questions that get the artist to open up. It's really cool hearing the artist inspiration behind writing a song, and Chris does a great job bringing it out." So, Chris, there you go. Another great review.
From Peter O?
Peter O!
Oh! Okay. Yeah. You do that with any more zest, Chris, you might throw out your lower back. Be careful.
I got to be careful.
Well, hey, it only took us 5 years to get him back. I want to thank this week's guest, Mr. Steve Soboslai from Punchline, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everybody, Satan here. I know what you're thinking. Jesus Christ, Satan has a podcast now too? No, that's not it. But I am here to tell you about a podcast, and it's one that's all about my favorite band, Punchline. Not the band you expected me to say, right? You probably figured I'd like Slayer, or maybe some backwards Beatles records or something. Those are okay. But you usually find me rocking out to fan-favorite Punchline albums like Action or Lion while I'm torturing dead people for all of eternity. Punchline's podcast is called A Band Called Punchline, and it's super entertaining to listen to this documentary-style look back at the 25 years of my favorite band. Honestly, I'm really feeling like I'm getting to know these guys, and their story is amazing. I'm so ready for them to get down here. I have so many questions. I gotta give them credit for catching on to my whole 37 thing, too. There's a reason why they're my favorite band, and if you listen to their podcast, they might become yours, too. A Band Called Punchline is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Check it out, and I'll see you all in hell.
Do you like music, learning about good music, and laughing at bad music? Well, I have the show for you. I'm Chris DeMakes, a podcast producer, Chris Fafalius, and my One Hit Thunder co-host Matt Kelly and I are 300-plus episodes deep into revisiting one-hit wonders to decide if they deserve a second listen or should stay safely buried in your memory. We give every artist a fair shot, roast them when necessary, and when a band or artist is actually really good, we officially certify them Thunder, and maybe someday we'll even get around to sending out those notarized certificates. Basically, it's an incredibly fun music podcast, so smash that subscribe button on One Hit Thunder wherever you get your pods.
Did you know if your windows are bare, indoor temperatures can go up 20 degrees? Get ahead of summer with custom window treatments like solar roller shades from Blinds.com and save up to 45% off during the Memorial Day Early Access Sale. Whether you want to DIY it or have a pro handle everything, we've got you. Free samples, real design experts, and zero pressure. Just help when you need it. Shop up to 45% off site-wide right now during the Early Access Memorial Day Sale at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
There's a new way to Sweet Green. Meet Wraps. Handheld, hearty, and made for life on the move. With bold, chef-crafted flavors, fresh ingredients, and over 40 grams of protein, they're built to satisfy without slowing you down. Try Wraps today in the app or at order.sweetgreen.com. Available at all participating locations.